So I just got paid $3,000 for a week's worth of work. And the proof is all the way right here. And here's the reaction to the client actually paying me that. What's good, bro?
What's good, bro?
Y'all niggas are crazy. I bought a freaking watch, bro. I'm like, nah, I'm printing way too much. I bought a car.
No sales calls, no ads, no team. Pretty much AI doing all the work. And look, I know what you're thinking. Yousef, what kind of BS are you telling me now? But here's the thing. AI is blowing the hell up right now. Everyone's telling you to do AI automation agency, go set up systems, go do automation. I'm not technical. Are you technical? Probably not. And while every other creator and YouTuber is telling you what you should do with AI, we all know what the point at the end of the day is. Sell a course or to sell you a program on the exact thing itself. Instead of doing AI automation or automating agencies or building AI automations, what I do is I use AI to be my ghost employee, partner with these creators who are actually making all the money online. We both know that's how it works, the info products, programs, and courses, and I get a revenue share of whatever they make. So this client, he was making 15K a month. I made him 15K a week, right? I get 30% of that, so actually 35%, and that's what I get paid. So I'm making 12K per month, minimum, per client. And when I say 12K, I mean 12K profit to my agency. And the crazy part is AI does 80% of the work for me, while I literally have to work like probably a couple hours a day on that client itself. Now look, I know I might be sounding way too crazy right now, and you're like, bro, this guy's just dilly-dallying right now. What is he talking about? But I'm gonna show you exactly how I find these clients. I'm gonna show you how you can basically help them out to get paid a percentage of what they make. And I'm gonna show you exactly one of my clients that I just did this for, step by step, and I will show you exactly what I did and how he paid me, and screenshots every single thing possible that you could potentially imagine. All right, guys, so what we're gonna do right now is I'm going to show you what one of my clients was doing before, and I'm going to show you what he was pretty much what we're doing right now for him. So here's basically one of my clients right now that I'm working with. You guys see how many subs he have. You can see how many views he's getting on YouTube. In terms of his Instagram, I'll basically show you guys right now what that looks like. So hopefully you guys can see over here, he has X amount of followers. Now, let me break down the funnel he was running before. Before we even worked together, he was running this simple funnel here on the left. All he had in his bio was pretty much a type form. So anyone that saw his stuff, he would say, hey, apply down here to see if you want to work with me. People were answering questions, and they were getting sent back after they filled out the type form to pretty much a YouTube video, which means that he was losing a lot of people. And now you have to understand why. Number one, his marketing awareness was not the right thing, right? So he was getting a lot of people who don't even really understand what he's doing to go straight to a form to apply to work with him. And I'm going to show you guys the funnel that we changed it to, which is why he's paying us the amount that he's paying us right now. The second issue is people do not know what the hell is going on. And from the type form that were being submitted, no one on his sales team was calling anyone. No emails were going out. And pretty much it was all like down the rubble. And that was making him 15K a month. And I'll show you how we literally made him 15 grand that week. Now, here's what I'm going to do to show you guys some proof. It might sound a bit odd that we're getting him all these payments, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you guys right now what his server looks like. So this is his Discord. This is where we manage all his VSL opt-ins, pretty much everything coming in, all the data that we track for him. And this is pretty much all the payments. So this is all the payments that we've been able to get from every single time. And you guys can see the reaction of the whole team every single time. It's all here. Even in worst case scenario, I'll just put some screenshots, but you guys see how much that we're actually like running this up right now as we speak. So like I said before, like, mind you, I found this guy. I was like, you know what? I could probably help. He was running straight to Typeform, which means that he was getting so many views, but he was not making enough money at all. Like, he was just not making enough money, and he was not making the most of his traffic. And this is a common thing you guys will find. A lot of these creators are really, really good at getting views, right? So, like I said, guys, that was the funnel before. Now, let me go run you guys to the funnel after we started working together, what it looks like. So we switched to something we pretty much call a free training funnel. So this is what the funnel looks like. It's a very simple funnel. You press on it, you enter your information, right? And here you get the whole free training directly. And this free training will pretty much be everything you need to know about the business model. Then they can pretty much go apply after. In between then, we have like a sales team dedicated that will call every single lead that comes through and every single person that fills out the type form. Once they fill out this form, they'll pretty much go to book a call. So here's what it looks like over here. Every traffic that we have over here pretty much redirects them directly to like the free training funnel, VSL over here. Then they fill out the form. Here's what happens. They book an account, the call gets booked. If they opted in, but they didn't apply or anything, we call them directly. Our sales team will try to call them and get them on a call. They then go through a welcome sequence and an email sequence to get them retargeted to convert, and an SMS sequence. Then there's the dialers, the callers will follow up on these leads for 4 days after to make sure they show up. And then basically, if they fill out the form, they also go through another 5-day email sequence. And if they basically opted in, they go through an 8-day sequence of SMSs and pretty much emails to get them to like re-engage automatically. Once they get the calls booked, they go through a thank you page, which happens usually is that if they book themselves, they get triaged with a dialer. Triaging means that we check to see pretty much if they're qualified or not to actually hop on a call with our closer. Then they get a bunch of email reminders, SMS reminders, all that happens. Once we know that they're going to show up, we put them pretty much in a group chat where basically they'll go on with the sales team, have a chat with our closer. We send them pre-recorded videos for them to pretty much show up on the call. We move the prospect in the pipeline. We have manual reminders, and pretty much that's how it works to get them to show up on the call itself. And then obviously on the call, if they close, that's good. If they no show, they go through an email sequence. If they don't close, they go through another specific email sequence that sends them case studies and recurring emails every single week. And that's pretty much the difference between a 15K a month system and a 15K a week system. All right. And then this is the Discord, how it's structured. We'll try to like, obviously remove some stuff so it doesn't really show too much. But like here we track everything for our clients. We talk with our sales team over here. All of our prospect information goes into here. So there's pretty much some examples of like how we do most of this work. So now you guys are probably asking yourself, how do I actually get paid? And from all these payments that show up over here, what do I actually get? And the way this works is whatever, essentially when I sign someone, I say, hey, if I make you same amount as last month, don't pay me. But if I make you more than that, we get 35% of pretty much everything. Some of it goes to our sales team. Some of it pretty much goes to us directly. And that's how we get paid. We get paid for what we generate, right? I'm not stuck on sales calls. I'm not stuck as a marketing agency doing a bunch of work for no reason. The more money they make, right, the more money that I make directly, which is pretty much why it's the most, like, probably one of the best business models to run today. All right, so now the cool part you're probably asking about is, okay, Yousef, you're doing all this, but where does AI actually come in? So I'm going to show you guys a tool that I use, and it's basically called Launchsmith. So let's say I have a pretty much random person that I'm working with right now. I obviously have an agency account. I will pick, for example, this guy over here, right? And over here, we have like all the client information. Now, the way Launchsmith works is I get to onboard my client. So if I want to add a client, I send them pretty much this little link over here. And I get to send them a shareable link, which I basically can copy anything that I want. I copy this link, I send it to the client, and then they then fill out all the information. So they could do this, they can fill out all the information over here. And using Launchsmith, I'm able to generate flows and emails and whatever I want. So I can generate a VSL. I can build them out like pretty much like a new funnel. So if I want to build out a free school funnel, I can do it over here. I can map out the community page. So for example, here, let's say I want to like design a free community for my client and I want to design the whole thing A to Z. The AI will pretty much like do it that moment and that pretty much at that time for me. So I'll let it load up. Obviously, if you like, so boom, here we have like a whole thing. We have our CTA in the bio. The whole course is pretty much like designed for the free course that we want to make for this client. Now, if I want to, let's say, write a specific email sequence for a client. So let's say I have a client and I want to write a pre-call preparation email sequence, right? Which is like basically the emails they get before they hop on a call. I pretty much can generate it straight from the software right here on Launchsmith itself. And now you guys are starting to understand. I use AI in a ghost employee format, right? I don't use AI to tell people I'm going to use AI. No, I sell the service because I use AI, obviously based off of how good I am, right? We've trained our AIs and how good we are. If I was the beginner, it wouldn't work. But I sell the same service that I used to sell before, but I just use AI to up my profit margins in general. So this is still loading up. We'll wait a little bit here. And then once it's pretty much done, I guess I'll get to show you guys. All right, so here's what it looks like. Boom, here, looking forward to our call. Pumped. From there, we'll dive into the sales call. Boom, it literally makes every single email that I want for the people call preparation sequence. So now let's say, I have to pretty much write daily emails for my client. So I can go and say, hey, I want to write a case study email. I can always typically add context. So let me add context right here for what I want. So I want to write a case study email for Jackson. He pretty much joined the mentorship 6 months ago. He was basically depressed, not knowing what he wanted to do with most of his life, not knowing what he wanted to do in school. He kind of knew a little bit about econ, but not enough to actually do well. He ended up joining the program, crushing it, worked his ass off. Like, he basically felt like he was no one before, and he finally found something that could actually help him help out his family and everyone else around him. Ended up making $30K after 2 months of getting into the program, and now he's pretty much crushing it. So let's just write an email about that. So boom, right? This is gonna go write the email sequence for me. If I want to, I can always get a reference. So let's say I have another email that I really like about someone that sent me an email through their email marketing. I can just copy and paste it as like references, but we're just not gonna do that right now, right? And this is pretty much like what it looks like. So right now it's just loading up, it's generating. Boom. How Jackson went from depressed 30K in 2 months. I want to share a quick story about one of my students, Jackson. He pretty much remembered just 6 months ago. Before that, he was basically depressed. Jackson ended up, for fast forward 2 months during the program, Jackson ended up making 30K. Boom. I know how it feels where Jackson was, to wonder if you'll ever find your own your thing or make a real impact. But his story shows that everything is possible. It's not about where you're starting from. It's about the decision you make right now to step up. Boom. Wrote out an email for me directly. Then I can go and write VSLs. I can go write whatever. Whole point is, this is what I use most of the time to do the work that I need to do for my clients. Obviously, is it 1000% perfect? No. Do we go tweak it back and forth? We definitely do. But you guys do get the point. This is how I'm using AI. So like I said, AI is pretty much my ghost employee. I don't say I'm going to do AI growth. I'm going to AI growth operator your offer. No. Say, hey, we'll help you scale, and then we'll get you the results. Don't worry about how it gets done, because we can get more efficient. And guys, by the way, guys, AI is better for us, for the creators, for everyone, because it allows us to work faster, get more emails out, get more assets out faster, and pretty much do better all around the board. So guys, the whole point is, you don't need to be a genius to make this work. I'm not technical, okay? I'm not some AI guru or whatever bullshit you guys want to call it, but this actually works. So again, if you guys want to check it out, it'll be down below, launchmyth.ai. I'm sure you guys are probably wondering now, like, what does this business even look like? How can you even scale it? So to give you guys an idea, if you have 2 to 3 clients, you can expect to make 20, 30 grand a month from each, right? Most people that have programs that are optimizing their funnels will typically make anywhere from 50 to 100K a month. One of my students, Jackson, had a 41K day with one of his clients, and he has 20%. So he made like 9 grand in a day, or I think it's like 8 grand in a day.
So pretty much I did 100K cash in 48 hours. And in one single week, we did $157,000 in cash collected.
Yeah. How much in a month?
So far this month, we're at $280,000. So we're going to end the 30 days at $300,000 in cash.
And I have the screenshot over here. But it really varies. Like, I have so many students, and you guys have probably seen the interviews, that do different numbers and different amounts. But if you have 1 to 2 clients, you can expect each client to pay you at least 3 to 5 grand a month in profit. And sometimes they'll go up to paying you anywhere from 20 to 30 to 40K a month in profit, depending on how big the client is. So it is a very scalable model. You charge 20, 30%. You pretty much work as a partner with the business person. They don't want to work with the agency. They want to work with a human just like you. You use AI on the back end to help you do more of the work efficiently. You move faster, the client gets better results, and it pretty much works that simply. And by the way, this is work for guys like Adrian, Braden, Jackson, Fred. Was one of my students is literally coming to Geneva, which is pretty much where I live, in 2 days to celebrate him hitting is 40K a month. And that's only in a couple months of doing this. Now, if you're wondering why I do this instead of high ticket, SMMA, pretty much all the other business models, it is for number one, 3 things. With most of the business models, you're pretty much stuck working with clients, and you're pretty much replaceable. And then, like I said, with most of the business models, there's so much management that has to be done 24/7. SMMA, you're losing clients all the time. High ticket sales, I'm so replaceable. And I just don't enjoy to do anything else. That doesn't really get me what I deserve. So with these guys, I make them more money. I get a lot more money, and all the money that I get is actually profit, not an agency that makes 200K a month, but that only has 10%, 20% actual profit margins. Now look, guys, I'm not gonna bullshit you with fake urgency, but the reason why you see a bunch of kids, probably like me, and even everyone in my group is pretty much younger, they call me Unk, doing so well, is because we are very, very early, right? This business model is not pushed at all yet. You're probably hearing it from myself for the first time, maybe 1 or 2 people, but no one else is really talking about it. And programs are blowing up, and we both know, right? I dropped out from the best business school in Switzerland. Everyone's dropping out. No one trusts colleges anymore. People don't want to go into 200 grand in debt, instead of learning from a 4 to 5, 6K program online how to do the same thing, or even in a more specialized way, right? And guys, to be honest, creators are done. They need help really badly. There's more people creating content every single day. It's becoming more normal to be a content creator than pretty much anything else, and they need you, and you pretty much have to make the most of it. All right, so guys, finally, let's just be real with everything. Who is this actually for? If you can talk to people, you're a pretty chill person, that probably is for you. If you understand business in general and you just don't want to trade your time for money, it probably will work out for you. And if you want a recurring income, not just commissions off a one-time close, this probably also makes sense for you. However, you should skip this if you don't want to commit 2 to 4 to 5 hours a day to learn everything and to actually put in the time. This is definitely not for you. If you're scared to reach out to creators, if you're scared to push stuff out there, it's definitely not for you. And if you're scared of actually failing at something, and you don't believe that you're not going to be patient with what you're going to do, and you don't believe it's actually going to work after 2 weeks, and you definitely should not try this at all. And look, if you want to learn this properly, I have a program where I've been teaching this for about 1.5 years. I have the best results in the space that are pretty much all the way over here, everywhere that I possibly can. I have a lot of student interviews you guys want to check out. Funny enough, my next video, I've one of my students is flying over to Geneva. We're doing like a little day in the life because he wants to talk about how he did it and pretty much how he's gonna go even faster, which is Fred, is a screenshot of like the results that he recently got. And then yeah, whether you want to learn from me, figure it out yourself. I generally hope that you guys will actually do really well. I wish you guys all the success in the world. So look, enjoy. I hope you guys like this video. Subscribe, like, talk to you guys soon. Peace.